KREM 2 News at Noon begins now.
Hi everyone, right now on KREM 2 News at Noon, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown spoke on the state of downtown. We have a look at her speech and plans for the city.
And the winds have picked up on this Friday as we are expecting these winds to stay with us for at least the next 24 hours, plus a cool down for the Father's Day weekend.
Plus, how a local boutique is carrying on the legacy of two University of Idaho students who were killed a year and a half ago. Hi everyone, it is so good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and on this Friday, we're going to talk about weather. There could be more strong winds elevating our fire risk today, not what we want to hear. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is standing by with what we all need to know about the winds that have already really started, Thomas.
Yeah, good afternoon, Laura. Conditions are very much blustery from our outdoor weather center here as we approach the noon hour, and those conditions are just going to stay like this for the next 2 days. It feels a bit like it did on Tuesday with the stronger winds elevating the fire danger on a dry and overall windy day. Only slight differences here. One, it's not quite as hot as it was earlier in the week. A little bit of cloud cover has something to say with that. And currently our wind speeds are only at about 30 to 35 miles per hour instead of 40 miles per hour. Just a subtle, small difference, but it does stay windy during the daytime hours. It'll ease a little bit tonight, just giving us a couple hours of some respite before it picks back up into Saturday. But that's where our current wind speeds stand here. 36 mile per hour in Pullman, the strongest that we've seen reported so far, and already above 30 miles per hour. And again, you can probably see the trees behind the set that are just waving around in the wind. Nothing terribly severe, not expecting any power outages or damage as a result from the winds alone. Just some elevated fire danger today and a bit for tomorrow, though cooler for this upcoming Father's Day weekend. So we'll be covering how much longer these stronger winds are going to last and what these rain and thunderstorm chances look like over this weekend. So those details are all coming up in a few minutes.
All right, my friend, thank you. It is 2 minutes past noon right now, and just a few hours ago, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown delivered her State of Downtown address. This was at the Spokane Convention Center, and in her speech, Mayor Brown touched on the many great things about Spokane, highlighting the new connection across the suspension bridge in Riverfront Park. She also spoke on Spokane's challenges, like the ongoing opioid crisis and the partnerships made to address it.
The council unanimously approved my emergency order on the opioid fentanyl crisis. And what that emergency order allows us to do is to tap in more quickly and move more quickly, because government processes don't typically move very fast, to first of all, contract with Empire Health Foundation, operating our Cannon Street facility as a transition center for people we are relocating from the Division Street corridor through the right-of-way encampment resolution program with funding from the state.
Mayor Brown also speaking about improving the fiscal stability of Spokane, with the city coming out $500,000 under budget for this year. That came out of a meeting yesterday. This comes as city leaders are trying to figure out how to fix a $50 million overall budget shortfall. The council is considering eliminating a position within the police department, which would save the city $114,000. At the same time, they are considering new purchases for the department, which include 3 undercover vehicles, Narcan supply, and a new crime scene scanner. Other things discussed include spending $50,000 for equipment to keep up with bike lane maintenance. A boutique in Coeur d'Alene is stepping in to help continue Maddie Mogen and Kaylee Gonsalves' legacies. Those were 2 of the 4 University of Idaho students that were killed a year and a half ago. Our Nicole Hernandez spoke to the owners of the boutique about how they're helping.
So a mom and daughter from North Idaho started the foundation Made with Kindness, a scholarship fund in honor of Kaylee and Maddie. They're hosting a gala this weekend, and that's where Marmalade Boutique in downtown Coeur d'Alene comes in. They're styling the foundation's founders and Kaylee and Maddie's moms for the event.
Isn't that cute?
Caitlin Widmeyer is a pro at picking the perfect gown.
I see.
It's typically a tough job, but particularly hard this week.
It's been tears all week.
That's because Caitlin is picking dresses for Kaylee Gonsalves and Maddie Mogen's moms.
They're here to spread the legacy of Madison Mogen and Kaylee Gonsalves, to raise some scholarships, and really just start that force of healing for this community.
Healing the community and Caitlin needs.
I knew Maddie pretty well. She was so focused and she was so amazing at just everything that she did.
Caitlin became a mentor for Maddie while she worked in Coeur d'Alene.
Because no one ever told me what to ask for what I'm worth, becoming a professional woman. I gave her a call and I said, girl, you're an incredible worker, you're an incredible employee.
That message apparently stuck with her.
It was really hard then kind of at her funeral. We had heard a story talking about how Maddie was so inspiring because she taught them how to negotiate for a salary.
Now Caitlin wants that legacy to spread even further.
I remember sitting there and I remember these girls' legacies have to be echoed.
Which is exactly the plan for this weekend. The Made with Kindness Foundation Gala is sold out.
Using this as a force of good and starting to bring some positive impact to the community where these girls were born is going to really start, remembering their legacy for the kindness and the empowerment that they lived with.
That kindness doesn't even have to be big.
Next one.
It can even come in the form of the perfect gown. In Coeur d'Alene, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
And as the families and communities continue to heal, work is underway at the University of Idaho to create a space where they can do just that. Within the last 2 weeks, the foundation was poured at the Vandal Healing Garden. It was one of the first steps in what will ultimately be a space to honor Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves, and other Vandals who don't make it to see graduation. All right, Spokane Valley Councilman Al Merkel is facing another investigation for alleged misconduct and allegedly violating city regulations. Councilwoman Jessica Yeager formally issued a complaint about Merkel's behavior this week. Yeager accuses Merkel of using a private Nextdoor account for city business, which would be a violation of Washington's Public Records Act. She also claims Merkel blocked social media users and deleted posts, which Yeager says hinders transparency and public engagement. Last month, Merkel was cleared of legal wrongdoing in a separate investigation. Merkel did respond to the most recent complaint, saying in an email, quote, "This is a continuation of a politically motivated attempt by the city staff and the council to distract the public from the issues that really matter." Also today at noon, we are continuing our coverage from a story that we brought you yesterday here on the show. A Spokane man was killed in a plane crash in Clearwater County Wednesday morning. Now his family and friends are remembering the man they call a great father and coach. KREM 2's Nathan Hyun spoke with family and friends who knew him best.
Well, it's a very sad story. A well-known member of Spokane's lacrosse community, Brian O'Rourke, died after crashing his plane in Clearwater County. The Clearwater County Sheriff's Office also tells me 2 of his sons were in the plane with him. Those 2 sons were taken by helicopter to Sacred Heart Hospital. Zach Malahan has known Brian O'Rourke for more than 5 years.
His departure will leave a giant hole in the community.
O'Rourke's passing still hasn't hit him.
And it's still sinking in. It's not something that, you can really comprehend.
Late Wednesday morning, the Clearwater County Sheriff's Office says they located a small Cessna plane that crashed in a remote area. The Sheriff's Office found O'Rourke's body in that plane.
Brian's one of those guys that he transforms boys into men through the coaching process, and he builds character.
Friends and family describe O'Rourke as a family man who was well invested in the lacrosse community. O'Rourke was an assistant lacrosse coach at Gonzaga Prep. He also was a number of boards in the community, including Spokane Youth Lacrosse and the Chesterton Academy of Notre Dame in North Spokane. Malahan was founding board members with O'Rourke.
It's going to take 6 to 8 people to fill in the holes that, all of the jobs that Brian did. He was that kind of guy with his passion and his zeal and his energy.
Malahan describes O'Rourke as a selfless man who loved everyone.
He's not somebody to blame somebody else. He will take responsibility, and just his ability, to forgive and love people.
A statement from the O'Rourke family to KREM 2 says, quote, "Brian was an adored husband, father, friend, coach, and mentor in Spokane. His passion for lacrosse began simply as a love of the game, but as he had his own children, he saw competitive sport as a means to unite mind, body, and soul on a path to virtue." The family tells me that both sons who are in the plane with Brian are okay. They were discharged from the hospital. In the newsroom, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
It is 12:09 right now. A ban on the gun accessory used in the deadly 2017 Las Vegas mass shooting has been struck down. What the Supreme Court's decision means for the future of bump stocks in less than 2 minutes.